I've been coaching and mentoring entrepreneurs for over 10 years, and my most successful clients incorporate these habits into their life in order to create success. So I encourage you to stay to the end to see where maybe you're checking those boxes or where you can embody more of these in your life to create greater success. The first common thing is first of all, they all have a vision. They know where they want to go. And it's not just having the vision that's enough. There's lots of people on our planet that have dreams, that have visions, but they're embodying those visions. They're connecting to those visions on a regular basis, and they're really learning to live from that vision. Clarity is power. So the highly successful people, they start with the end in mind. They know where they're going, and they're living more from that vision than they are their conditions. So as you're checking in with yourself, do you have a vision? Do you have clear goals? Do you have a destination in mind? And do you have a burning desire for that vision? Really turning up your desire and your connection with that vision. The second thing that they do consistently is they're taking action. They're not just thinking about their vision. They're not just thinking about the things that they could be doing, but they're constantly in motion. They're constantly asking, what else can I do? What step can I take? Sometimes that's a great, big, scary step. But more often than not, it's what we call a baby step. It's a micro move. It's asking themselves every day, what can I do to move this vision forward? And they're not afraid to take action, and they're not afraid of failure, that they know that if it doesn't work out, they're gonna learn some things, they're gonna grow. So they're constantly in action, and they're persistent about their dreams. The other common trait or common habit is they are noticing what they're noticing, and they are actively in the moment repatterning what's not serving them and really getting greater clarity on what is serving them. Contraction can only create contraction, and expansion creates expansion. Your thoughts, your words, what you're focusing on is ultimately creating your results. And so I train my clients and myself to notice what we're noticing, paying attention to the thoughts we're thinking, paying attention to the words that we're using, and really noticing if those words and thoughts are in alignment with where we want to go, or if they're perpetuating our conditions and our circumstances. And when I'm in conversation with my most successful clients, they are course correcting in real time, where they might say something and they recognize, wait a second, that's disempowering. Cancel. Here's what I really want to say here. And you'll hear this with people who are calibrated in their thinking, where they're noticing live in that moment if they're saying something that's serving them or if it's disempowering them. And they're willing to course correct in the moment. And so they have a vision. They're taking action. Where are you maybe not taking as much action as you could be taking? And then they're doing, I'm going to say, the hardest work in the world is thinking and being conscious of the thoughts and course correcting in those moments. So how aware are you of the language you're using, the thoughts that you're thinking, and are you willing to pay attention to that and course correct in the moment? The other commonality with the most successful clients that I work with is they show up to every single coaching call that I offer. So we have a regular rhythm, a regular structure of support around their thinking to help them stay accountable. And the most successful ones, that's a non-negotiable for them. They are on every single call, and they're showing up for the purpose of their dreams and for themselves. And they're also showing up with questions. They want to leverage that time. They want to maximize that time. So they're asking questions to help them with both their mindset and their strategy. And then they do the work. So they leave those coaching calls and they go apply the tool, they apply the teaching, they take the action, and on a repetitive basis, as they continue to do that every single week, that's how they're creating massive transformation. So what structures of support do you have around you where on a weekly basis you're connecting in with your vision? You have support with your questions, with your challenges. And then if you have that, are you actually taking it and applying it in your life? And I know I've been guilty in my own life where I might be showing up to my coach's calls and it's a really great call, but then I forget about it. And those great ideas stay in the notebook. And as long as the ideas stay in the notebook, we're not going to see the results. So really committing to taking action and applying the teaching, that's what's going to create the results. And I can think of many different clients who show up and they ask those questions. They go into the week and they apply the thinking or the strategy, and they come back the next week and it's like, wow, you won't believe what happened this week, because they were willing to do the work. I can think of one particular client right now who she showed up to every single call, and she would have a really calibrated question and she was very coachable. She would take that learning, take that lesson, go apply it into her life, come back the next week, say, I did it, here's my next question. And the consistency of doing that week after week, she is in a completely different place in her life. She has new goals, new dreams that she's pursuing. But it was her consistency and her willingness to not just show up for herself, but actually apply the work in her life that created that transformation. The one common thread is transformational willingness, and that requires the willingness to do both the inner work and the outer work. And let me be clear, it is work. What I teach is simple, but it's not easy. There's one particular client who she knew something had to change in her life. And when we first started to work together, she was a little bit skeptical. She's like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And she was willing though. So a little bit skeptical, but the transformational willingness that she had, she leaned in and she was willing to apply what I was sharing with her. She wanted that change so badly in her life that she was willing to do the work, even though it was sometimes uncomfortable. And within a very short period of time, she completely transformed her results. The willingness to do that inner work, that deep inner work, but also the practical application and taking action is key to creating results. My most successful clients are open to new perspectives and they have a transformational mindset. They're coachable. They're willing to be in a place of curiosity, to really do that self-reflection and have that level of self-awareness, and to be willing to learn and to grow and to challenge perspectives that maybe they've had for a lifetime. But when we understand that it's our perception that's really creating our results, that willingness to look at things differently and shift that perspective is so key, because how we perceive the world and what we believe about the world gets reflected back to us in our results. And sometimes those are deeply ingrained beliefs, deeply ingrained perspectives that our friends have, our family has. And it takes a level of willingness to really look within yourself and say, is this true? Is this still serving me? Or is there a way that I can look at this differently? Successful clients also face problems and challenges with a level of curiosity and willingness to grow from them. So they understand that when they come up against an obstacle or a problem or a challenge, that it's simply an opportunity to grow and to learn from. And so instead of going into resistance and pushing against it or making it bad or big, they're able to take that perspective of this is an opportunity to grow. And often for them, the greatest learnings come from those obstacles and those challenges because of the level of curiosity versus resistance. So if you look at this list, which ones are you doing well? Where's your opportunity to grow? I believe that we can all grow and expand in applying any of these. But I want you to notice that these are all mindset tools that can be learned, that we can grow within ourselves, that we can expand on. You're not born with them or not. This isn't available to some people and not others. You can foster all of these mindset strategies within you to be even more successful than you are right now. So I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these are you going to be leaning into this week to help you expand your results? I'm Stacey Berger, transformational coach in both life and business, empowering you to have full spectrum success.